Welcome to the Rewards Master Live. I'm at a different time than usual, mostly because I was scheduled to do it at my typical Sunday afternoon time yesterday, but got a little ill, so had to postpone it. So this is the makeup time. So everybody who's in here with me, I appreciate that. I'm trying to pull up and see how many are joined with us. So we'll try to figure that out momentarily. See what we got. In the meantime, let me. Looks like we got a few comments. Well, wow, starting off. How could it be better than that? Mike Newland, the man, the myth, the legend. 20 Rewards Master memberships. Thank you, Mr. Mike. Appreciate that so very much. That is awesome. What a great way to start a live stream. That is the best of the best. Well, it's telling me that there's only 2 people in here, but I know there's more than 2 people in here because there's more than 4 comments, so there's got to be more than 2 people. Mike Newland says 4X ABG. I think you mean Amex Business Gold for the win. Yep. I have one. I love it. It's a good card. Great card. I think the best Amex Business card for sure. Sticky Monkey Baby. Golf clap for Mike Newland. People receiving memberships before the live even starts. That is a first, Mike. That is awesome. Thank you so much. That completed my full recovery from not feeling good yesterday afternoon. So that was awesome. Mike gives multiple crying smiley faces. That's awesome. Cold Air, it's hey RM. Fun talking to you on the Zoom session. Yeah, I hope you guys like that, Cold Air. I've loved it. That's one of the favorite things I do with YouTube is to have those Zoom sessions because, man, I tell you, and I know this because y'all know I'm a professor, so I teach all the time, and I teach at church all the time, and all this stuff. And that's the great thing I love about teaching is when you're running a class, I learn so much. I have students, doctoral students, who write papers that are so beyond anything I could write, and I learn so very, very much. So that's even true in this sphere. So that's what I love about Spreadsheet Warriors is that I learned so much because everybody in there is playing on expert mode. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Coder is here. Hey, Coder, good to have you here. As is good friend Jimmy Duff. Good to have you here, Jimmy. He says, hey, Bop. Just gaming. Big Mike started off strong, as he often does. That was awesome. Chad Harmon is here. Says, hello, sir. Good to have you here, Chad. And A-Tier, happy Monday all. Hey, A-Tier. Sorry it's on Monday. I know it's a little different for me, but as I said, I had it scheduled, went to church, scheduled it before church yesterday morning, got to the afternoon, went to lunch, was doing good, then just started to feel not good. So had other things going during the day. Yesterday I had to cancel those things, had to postpone this, but doing much better today. Yuri, hey guys, good to have you here, Yuri. Just gaming. Hey RM, joining from Hyatt Zalara Capcana in Dominican Republic. Awesome. Nona and I are going to the Dominican Republic early next year. It's still in the winter for our first time to an all-inclusive. We've never actually been to an all-inclusive before, so we're excited about it. It's not the Hyatt Zilara. It's one of the others. There's so many in the Dominican Republic, but we're excited about it. Jimmy says, hey, Mike. Let's see what else we got. Man, we got lots of comments here. Credit card connection. Hey, Joe, good to have you here. What's going on, Gary? Good to have you with us. Juan says, good afternoon. Hey, Juan, good to have you here. Yuri says, Amex sucks. Okay. I teach their own. I wouldn't say they're the best in the world, but I wouldn't say that either. So I guess we all had different views. Medic says, Mike, there are other ways to earn points, dude. Nice. Yuri, no good cards apart from Hilton. The rest is junk. Oh, okay. Well, except for sign-up bonuses. They're not junk on that. That's kind of what I use them for. I amass a lot of points through sign-up bonuses with their business cards, especially. Coder missed the Zoom session, but loved the recording. Oh, good. I posted it yesterday morning, so I thought you guys would be able to see it. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Mike Newland, really tell me more, Medic. Mike, we missed you at the Spreadsheet Warrior Zoom, by the way. I know you were at the meetup. I hope it went well. YouTube experiment. Just got off work. We'll be listening while driving, not watching. Understood? Please do that and be safe. A tier. I'm at a Kimpton in Nashville and love using the in bloom and out of office to get extra benefits. In bloom and out of office. I'm not familiar with that, but I am familiar with Nashville, and Nona and I are heading to Nashville very soon. Very soon. We have a conference we both are going to be involved in, so heading to Nashville, but it's driving distance for us, so we'll be heading there. Not sure what hotel. They're putting us up in a hotel, so I will try to go to the front desk, though, and get points on the stay either way, even though somebody else is paying for it. Mike from LA, greetings. Hey, Mike, good to have you here. Nurakan, good afternoon from Chi-Town. All right, Nurakan, good to have you with us. Keg Tap, good afternoon, Rewards Master and everybody. Good to have you here, Keg. Chad Harmon, glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Yeah, I think it was something I ate. You know how that comes on quick and then you get better quick. So that's kind of what it was. Source King, did you just call us doctoral credit card students? Yeah, if I had approval from an accrediting agency, I'd give y'all degrees in that. I mean, that would be awesome. Mike from LA, lots of multitaskers at work today. Yep, for sure. Some driving, some working, whatever it is. Family Travel John, all inclusives are amazing. We were at Secrets in Cabo last week, and we're already planning to go back. Yeah, we're excited about it. Nona and I, the one we're going to, and I can't remember the name of it right now. I'll probably talk about it in a future live, but it's just one I booked it through. I'm always trying to find ways to use my City Prestige 4th night free credit for really good value, but where I don't have to spend like $1 bazillion for the 3 nights I got to pay for. So I did it 4th night free at this, and I think it ended up being like $400 a night, I think, but it seemed like a pretty nice place. So we're excited to go there. You know, everything's all inclusive, of course, right on the beach. Can't remember the name of the place, but I'll try to find that for a future live. Dim, is that a beer, RM? Well, it is a Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Baja Blast Tropical Lime. You ever had one of those? They're pretty good. I like them. Little bit of caffeine, a little late in the day helps me out. Dim, good afternoon. Good to have you here, Dim. Yuri, I sold most of the 1.6 million MR points I had. Oh, so you cashed them in. Did you get the 1.1 with the Schwab Platinum card? Coder, Golden Business Card are some of the best cards on the market, in my opinion. Gotta love those 4x multipliers. They are good. I don't know why the personal gold card gets so much more love than the business, because I kind of like and I know I'm in a weird situation because I have prestige for dining, but the 4x categories with the gold card, I mean, I like the gas category. I like some of the other category. I mean, I just think it's the gold business card is really a good card. Medic, but I also use the Chat GPT credit, which I know a lot of people probably wouldn't. Medic, all inclusives are so nice because you don't have to worry about anything. Yep. All your food, all your drink. I mean, everything. It's that we've been on cruises that are like that, but we're excited to try just to stay in one place. A tier, Kimptons have code words or key phrases that get you extra. Oh, yes, I do remember that. It's very different for Kimpton, what they will give you. So for every Kimpton, what they'll give you. Yeah, I haven't tried that because I haven't stayed in a lot of IHG places, a few, but mostly Holiday Inn Expresses and stuff. Dim, agree, Coder. YouTube gets, maybe that's not YouTube. YT gets 4x, including on memberships with Business Gold. Yep. Yeah, YouTube gets that with Business Gold. That's true. Okay, Chad Harmon, you don't have to love the card company, but you can definitely use them for their welcome offers. Use the cards. Don't let the cards use you. That's a good philosophy for sure. Medic, Source King, I'm definitely not that smart. Maybe C-, and that's pushing it. Nah, Medic, I'd give you a better grade than a C-. But my students do let me know that in my department, of which I'm the dean, so I guess this isn't all that good, but in my department, they have hinted that I'm one of the easier graders. So, maybe I'm just an easy grader. Source King, definitely not that smart. Yeah, we saw that one. Yuri, I was using City Prestige fourth night free for all inclusives using points. Yeah, I haven't tried that. I just don't like getting 1 cent per point, but I could. Mixes well with vodka. Oh, does this? You've done that with this? Okay. Not tonight because I got something going a little later, but yeah, okay. Yuri, I got 1.25 cents per point. All right. Dim, Yuri, you stack points with fourth night free. Don't think I've ever tried that. Yeah, I haven't done it either. I didn't really even know you could, but I'll try it. I got 1.25 cents per point for your MR points when you cashed them out. Okay. Not sure how, but I'd love to know. Why not 135? Why not 1.35 with 35% booking, Yuri? Oh, I think he's meaning business platinum card with the 35% off when you book through their portal. Paul Davis, good afternoon, Bop. With the Deval and Hyatt and the 4-3 transfers from Chase, I've been moving my Chase points to Aeroplan when they have a 20% transfer bonus. What are your thoughts on the Aeroplan card? I've looked into it some, and it's one of my favorite cards for people. Now, not for me. I mean, I looked into it, and I think it can be a great card. If I did things like Travis or even like Dugras especially, I think Dugras is probably the most valuable thing in his wallet, hands down, because that, being able to pay yourself back up to what is 100,000 points a year or whatever, I think that's super valuable, especially since you can transfer points over from so many places. So I think it's a really solid for an airline card. I think it's really solid. It just doesn't have any use place for me, but yeah, I'll probably get it someday just for the bonus for a year. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Okay, let me see where did we get to over here? Let me go. I think okay, here we are. Chad Harmon, Diet Mountain Dew is my drink. It's different than zero sugar. I like that one too. But I got stuck on the Baja Blast because Taco Bell started serving it, and I kind of go to Taco Bell often. So, and I get so much cash back at Taco Bell through the Upside app. And so, I mean, my last one, I got 89% back because I get some referrals, and you get more back when you have more referrals, whatever. Well, they kind of got me hooked on the Baja Blast. So when they started selling it in cans, I always have some. Source King, Medic, being a doctoral student doesn't necessarily make you smart. I met some doctoral students that struggle to spit without drooling. That's true. I'll tell you a big secret of that is that even, there are different types of doctorates. There's EDDs. There's I have a PhD, but there's EDDs. There's professional doctorates. All the medical doctorates are professional doctorates. There's also, there's business doctorates. There's all kinds, and they're all different. But the truth of all of it is it's a marathon, and they're just kind of designed to wear you out. But if you just keep going, you'll make it through eventually. I mean, you'll make it through eventually. The worst part is the dissertation. So like many times you'll have, I know this had nothing to do with points a mile. Sorry about that. But you'll notice professors, sometimes they'll have both their PhD and a master's degree from the same institution. I have that. So when I went through getting my doctorate, when I finished all my coursework, they gave me a master's degree in that field, even though that master's degree is not listed anywhere in the school catalog. And the reason they do that is because at least at the school I went through, it's a big state university. And when I was going through, it took me 3 years to do my coursework on campus. And then it took 5 years to do my dissertation. I did that, of course, while I was out working. And so 8 total years. Well, 65% of people never get past ABD. So that's all but dissertation. So they don't fully become PhDs. They just never finish their dissertation because the dissertation is so difficult. So what they do is they give a master's degree when you finish the coursework and pass your qualifying exams. They give you your master's degree in that field in case you never finish your PhD, that you haven't wasted your time and money. So that's kind of an interesting thing. But the dissertation is difficult. It's arduous. Sometimes you'll write a chapter and it'll take 4 months to get it back from you. I try not to do that to my students, but I had that some in my educational journey where it was difficult to get back. And then but you can't really get on the professor. He's your professor. I mean, your whole life's in his hands. So it's like back and forth. It's just a marathon. And it's just about who has the grit, determination, and tenacity to finish it. So that has nothing to do with points and miles. I'm sorry. I probably lost about half my people on that. No, still quite a few in here. 46 still watching. So that's good. All right, we'll move off of that. So medic, so what you're saying is I'm really not that smart and you're just being a nice guy. Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, maybe I'm smart and I can recognize smart people, right? Yuri, when you use the fourth night free, you get 1.33 cents per point with Prestige. Do you? Well, I did not know that. I will do that now. That's a better deal. I might become a points for hotels kind of guy. Yuri, I didn't book for myself. I sold points. Sold them. I am not even going to get into how that's done. There are groups where you can sell points. Okay. Cold Air's Baja Blast is very similar to Powerade plus Lemonade plus Sprite. Yeah, but you just don't have to mix it yourself. And Ian, you're not following. I'll DM you. Okay. Okay. Chad's Money Minutes here. Hey, Chad. Good to see you, bud. Hope your creator meetup that you had in South Florida worked out really well. Looked like everybody had a good time. Yuri, places where they pay 1.35 cents per point. Still asking about the selling points. Saying hello to Chad. Gotta love the enchilada from Taco Bell. They brought it back. It's my favorite. It's my favorite too. Besides the old Bell Beefer. I don't know if anybody ever had a Bell Beefer, but years ago they had a sandwich that was like a sloppy Joe. It was great. That and the enchilada, they were the best for sure. Like the Mexican pizza too. Mike Newland. Hey, Chad. Cold Air. It's my PhD program. Didn't give me a master's along the way. You can declassify and graduate with a master's though, but it wasn't super common. All right, cool. But you've seen it with others, right? On their resume or their CV. You've surely seen it with others because that's definitely how my program did. Because in my program, 65% didn't finish. That was the statistic they gave me. So that's why they did it. Dem, he's talking about Biz Gold, Yuri. 35% rebate is 1.54 cents per point. Okay. Biz Platinum, he means. That's the one I was thinking of. Juan, official Chad. Hey, Chad. Calder, speaking of, do you guys see Nona back there in the background? Nona, your head's in the way. Nona, your head's getting in our way. Speaking of, what's the best credit card setup for graduate students spending in their daily life and international conference travel? My vote would be the Capital One Duo. I think Capital One would be good. I just don't think you can go wrong really with Mom, you're kind of loud, babe. Mom, can you not talk or not be so loud? Sorry, I couldn't hear her. So speaking of what's the best credit card set, I would say that something with Built would be pretty good too, because I don't know if you could pay for dorm space, but a lot of graduate students are renting something. So I would think that would be a very, very lucrative thing. Even with the Built Blue Card, pretty good overall return. So FLX New York, my dissertation committee was the worst. One member was the chair of my committee. One was the chair of the department. They ended up hating each other. Yeah, mine, I had to have 3 from different departments. So I had a political science guy, the head of the political science department. I had a lady who was the head of the English department. Now that was terrifying for edit purposes. And then I had my advisor. They weren't that bad. I got to say, they were pretty nice. Big Kurt, hey Bob, my condolences on your loss, and thank you for the 411. Yep, thank you very much. We are starting to pull things together around here. Nona's doing a lot better. Coder, public streams are probably the best place to self-incriminate. LOL. Big Kurt gives $5. Thank you, Big Kurt. Appreciate that so much. Appreciate it so much. Damn, Taco Bell was great when I was in my 20s. One near me closed at 3 a.m. Nuss said, yep, when you got those munchies in the middle of the night and you're young. Yuri, business plat rebate is 1.54 cents per point if you book for yourself. Yep. That's using that benefit through their portal. Chad Harmon, too many Chads in this live. Yeah, there's just Chads everywhere. Just Chads everywhere. A tier, just use my upside today at Shell for AA miles when I discover it for 5% cash back and 10% since it's the first year. Yeah. And did you also get AA loyalty points and miles? Because you can triple dip that deal. You can triple dip that. You can get upside. You can get AA status points and AA miles if you have an account, a rewards account with Shell connected to your AA, and you can get your credit card points. I do it all the time. It really gave me about, I don't know, 2,000 loyalty points and miles last year extra. Source King Mexican pizza is awesome. Extra beef, add nacho cheese. Oh, I haven't done it that way. I just usually get it normal, but I like it. D, what was your thesis? My dissertation was on religious history in the United States, kind of history and culture. Okay, so let's go ahead and add to stage. I didn't get to these last time, so we're going to go ahead and get to some of them this time and work our way through. Okay, we have 51 in here watching. Let's see how many have hit the like button. If it'll tell me. 22 have hit the like button out of 51 people watching. So if you haven't done that yet, appreciate it greatly. All right, comments. This is on my video. Are airport lounges really worth it? The truth most credit card experts ignore. Now, this was a redo of a live that I did, I don't know, about a year ago, where I just really broke down lounges and all the questions a person needs to ask when you are factoring in, are the lounges actually worth it for me? So Farganot said, one factor you didn't cover was the requirement to enter a lounge. Can I get in if I don't have the physical credit card in my wallet? Do I have to pay $100 over basic flight price to access the lounge? While these may not come into play for RM, folks early in the game should be aware of those added constraints when considering a $900 investment in a card. So there's several parts to this question. Can I get in if I don't have the physical credit card in my wallet? It depends on the lounge is the answer to that. So when you think about the lounge that you're trying to go to, if you're going to something like I never show my card at the Admirals Club Lounge because if you're going on the executive card, then it's attached to your American number. And if you're using any of the passes like from the Globe or the Elite card, then those passes are in your app on your phone. So you don't have to worry about it. Some others, though, like when I've tried to get into like Sapphire lounges, I have a Ritz-Carlton card, and it's better to get in if I show them that Ritz-Carlton card rather than just using my priority pass. So having the physical card is very helpful in that situation. With Amex lounges, it's been hit and miss, but I found that it goes way better if you actually have the physical card with you. So I have, as you know, I have multiple wallets. I have a travel wallet, and in my travel wallet, I have all my lounge cards. So that one goes in my backpack. It's got an air tag in it in case there's any kind of issue, if I need to find it, because it's got a lot of cards in there. But I use those cards all the time when we're traveling. Sometimes the only time they get pulled out is when we're walking up to a lounge. Okay, so do I have to pay $100 over basic flight to access the lounge? Yes. Most of the time, if you're flying and you're going to go into an airline specific lounge, American, Delta, whatever, I mean, I know Delta very specifically lays this out. You can't get access to the lounge if you're on a basic economy flight. Now, as far as I know, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I don't ever fly basic economy flights, so I don't have experience with this. But as far as I know, I don't know that any of the bank-specific lounges like Amex or Capital One or any of those would care. They just want to see a boarding pass. So I would think that it depends on what kind of lounge you're trying to access. Then he says, while it may not come into play for RM, folks early in the game should be aware of those added constraints when considering a $900 investment. So that's a fair critique that I should have included those caveats in my assessment. So that kind of answers that question. Let me go back and catch up on a few comments. So Mike Newland said, all Accor RM, your thoughts? It's a hotel program, Accor. You know, I'm not the best guy to ask. I mean, that's just truthful. There are YouTubers that would be a lot more knowledgeable of that. Nuracan, Senior Chad, how's it going? Senior Chad, Senor Chad, there we go. Or maybe it's Senior. Medic, I fill up the company truck all the time at gas stations that give rewards. Makes sense. You just want to get something out of it, right? When we fly on the company, we get points, so it makes sense. Yuri, I'm using passes from my player 2 CSE first, then my own passes. Yeah, at the those passes seem to be transferable. I gave 2 of them to my son, just took screenshots and sent them to him. And him and my daughter-in-law used them for my Globe card. And I think they just kind of thought he was me because we have the same last name. So maybe it doesn't work with somebody without the same last name, but worked for him. Coder, the Capital One and Amex travel apps have always worked for me if I check in there. Okay. To get into the lounge. Ian says, last time I tried to show the Ritz card to better access to the Chase Lounge in Boston, they just laughed at me and put me on the wait list. They laughed at you with a Ritz card? Well, that ain't good. That doesn't sound like Ritz customer service at all. Maybe it's Sapphire Lounge customer service. Medic, I've had AA at LHR tell me I had to have the actual card. I politely told her it was on the account, and she looked it up and told me I was good to go. Yep. Never had that happen, but I could see where you have to educate some of those folks sometimes. Yuri, yes, for Amex Platinum, I never use the card. It's always through the app. Yep. Now, I've used that many times, but I have had a couple times where it was just a hassle, and I'm like, I'll just show you the card, you know? So I think it's easier if you have the card, but it doesn't mean you can't get in without it. A tier, yes, I've got the AA miles and status at Shell. It's all connected. I just discovered this recently and love it, especially on work travel reimbursement gas fill-ups. Yep. If somebody else's gas and you're getting something for it, that is smoking awesome. And Coder, Accor Platinum seems pretty appealing. Okay, he's answering Mike's question about Accor. Ebby KN, thank you so much. 10 Rewards Master memberships. Appreciate that very, very much. If you receive any of these memberships from either Mike or from Ebby KN, then please give them a big thanks. Yuri, different last names for us still works. Good deal. Medic, A-tier, it's all about the stack. It for sure is. A-tier, I just keep my physical cards with me when I'm traveling. It just decreases friction and potential frustration. That's my strategy. I mean, I got an AirTag on the wallet, so if there were to be a problem, I should be able to find it. So, and I have a special pocket dedicated for that. And because Nona tends to lose things, I tend to be the guy who doesn't lose things because I put them where they're supposed to be. So, I pretty much know where it is all the time, and I just take the cards. FLX New York, thank you so much for the membership, he's saying. And just an FYI, at Shell Fill Up is up to 20 gallons per fill up, so I never let it get past that. Yeah, I guess you could do 20 gallons. Then you could do it again, and that would work. All right, next one. Let's see what we got here. This is on my Amex Business Gold. We were just talking about that I did a review on the Amex Business Gold, and Gary, the Points CFO, great guy. He said, I earn millions. You hear that? Millions. That's a gamer for sure. I earn millions on Business Gold annually, but have to get 8 of them due to the 150K limit on Forex spending. I get more points on this card than any other. The electronics and software plus advertising categories are the workhorse categories. Transfer to ANA for Japan flights and used to transfer to Atmos. Transfer to ANA for Japan flights and used to transfer to Atmos. Okay, so I mean, the reason I wanted to include this comment is I'm just in awe of 8 gold cards, 8 business gold cards, and 150K limiting out on all of them and millions of points. Now, Gary, high spender. Some of you who are in here right now are high spenders. And I wanted to say this because, frankly, I get a little bit irritated. Not angry, because I'm a pretty hard guy to get angry, but I get irritated at times because some of the critique I receive on YouTube is that people will respond, well, you know, but that people don't spend like that on credit cards. Yes, they do. A lot of people do. And so Gary, I mean, I've talked with Gary. We've sat for an hour or two when we were in Puerto Rico, had a nice visit. Gary runs business spend through there. There's a lot of small business owners in this country, a lot. And on a small business, 100 grand on a card is nothing sometimes. 200 grand, 300 grand, 400 grand. Now, I'm not at that level. You know, I have a lot of reimbursable spend, so I run quite a bit. I would say I'm a high spender, but I'm not a super high spender, but there are super high spenders. So some of the stuff I talk about on my channel, because I focus on multipliers sometimes, but I acknowledge very quickly that for people who aren't high spend, multipliers don't matter. You need to just do sign-up bonuses. That's the strategy. That's the win. But not everybody's there. And frankly, I mean, a guy who's earning millions of points a year couldn't possibly do enough sign-up bonuses to keep that going. They couldn't possibly do it because the banks would all shut you down. And I mean, your shutdown would be long-term, baby. You tried to get enough cards to put $1 million through them in a year. No. And just hit sign-up bonuses. They're not going to do that. So I guess I wanted to put this on here, this comment, because to kind of push back a little bit against the critique that, well, you shouldn't talk about this because nobody spends like that. Yes, they do. Now, I understand it's probably a smaller portion of the population, but it's a real thing. And it kind of applies in my life. So I want to share for people who it applies in their life, what good strategies are. Okay, let me go back to this. Vortex says, hey, RM, good to have you here, Vortex. Chad, I have AirTags and locator cards and all my stuff. Yeah, me too. I just don't want to have to worry about it. Yuri, I don't have high organic spend. Most of my spend is MS, manufactured spending. Yep, but that's still high spend. Dim says, I'm maxing out 4 business goals and maxed out a plat business for the 2X. Just picked up another. See, Dim, you fall into that category too. I was thinking of you when I said there's some in here. Coder, it's kind of wild to me how big of a monopoly Amex has on business levels of spend. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, do others not want that business? It's so strange. I mean, why hasn't Chase jumped on the having a business card that gives you 300,000 points for $20,000 in spend or whatever? It just seems like the others just, I don't know, they're just hesitant to jump into that game, but clearly it's worked for Amex. Damn, RM, don't listen to the haters. Oh, I'm not. I mean, whatever. I'm not. I'm just trying to illustrate that this is a segment of the population. You're one of the few channels that caters to those who are playing this game in expert mode. Keep it going. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And that's what I want to be. Now, I like to help people who are just getting started. I mean, when I was just getting started, I wasn't in expert mode, but I wanted to be. I wanted to learn from people. But, to me, that is I mean, that's the key to a successful life, right? Is that I always, I mean, I was with a guy today, Nona's been wanting a boat. So I don't know nothing about boats. So, I mean, I can repair mowers and tractors and cars and stuff like that, but I don't know nothing about boats. So I took a guy with me who knows a lot about boats. And she was telling me in the car, she said, you just asked him all these questions about boats, just random questions about, and I'm like, because I want to know. I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious. I mean, if I were sitting down having dinner with some of y'all and I found out you're in finance, I'd be asking you questions about finance. Not because I'm, anything nefarious. I want to know. I'm curious about things. And that's the thing, is that I hope that my channel draws in people who aren't just expert mode people, but people who want to be expert mode, so they can listen and learn and ask the right questions and grow and apply those things to their lives. That's the kind of person I've always been. That's the person I want to help in this whole space. Yuri, Chase business cards are better than Amex. Even Capital One cards are better, like Venture X Business. Okay, I haven't had one of those, but yeah, I could see a case in which they would be. Brian says, Accor plus Explorer looks like good stuff. Benefits pay for Accor. Okay, yeah, there's been some others about Accor in here. Yuri, I run a lot of manufactured spending through Hilton cards. Yeah, that gets you. The only problem is it gives you Hilton points. But yeah, Anthony Venture, Points CFO is a beast. So is Rewards Master. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. That's very complimentary. Gary is an awesome guy. That's for sure. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next one. So here we have also on the business gold card video. Bored Koala. What a cool name. Bored Koala. Not quite Stinky Monkey Baby, but good name. Bop. We have this card and took advantage of the bonus, the upgrades, the office supply stores credit, the Walmart Plus, and the streaming service. The only thing I'm not clear on is the Forex categories. We knock out the sub with non-category spend and set this card aside. Would we get the Forex if we kept using it for dining, for example? Yes, you would, up to the cap, but the cap is huge. So, I mean, it's just as good of a dining card as the personal gold card, except it doesn't have Resi credit and stuff like that. But yeah, it's got great categories. It's got Forex gas. So it is a smoking good card that doesn't get a whole lot of attention. And it's $375 instead of $325. So it's not a big difference as far as price goes either. So yes, I think it makes a lot of sense as a spending card for somebody. I mean, frankly, if I did not have my City Prestige card for my dining or custom caches, I'd probably use those first. If I didn't have the City set up, I'd be probably using my business gold for dining, because I mean, I could get a whole lot of points there. So yes. Amitic, I feel Amex goes out of their way to cater and keep those big spenders. They love them swipe fees. They do. Well, they make more on swipe fees than some of the other companies. I mean, because they own the processor. So Yuri, Hilton points are a byproduct. Free night certs are, okay, Yuri. That's a good strategy. Hilton free night certs are the bomb.com. Those are awesome. Good play. Damn, Biz Gold is a better card for gamers than personal gold. Yep, 100%. And Medic for sure agrees. Okay, let's go back to Dem. Also says, you tend to get better offers when you're actually using the Amex ecosystem. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you'll get offers to get another one if you're using a business gold for sure. All right, let's go to this one. Don't miss this opportunity. And I was talking about product changing while you could. And give me some data points here, because I'm not sure if people still can. But for a while, after they made it no longer able to apply for, you could still product change into the custom cache. Not sure if you still can, but I was talking about that here because, I mean, you got to get it while it's got my whole wallet just about. Let me tell you my spend wallet. So before we get into this question, my spend wallet, the stuff I use on a day-to-day basis when I'm working on a sign-up bonus is Built Palladium. And the Built Palladium and the Chase Ink Cash card are the only 2 cards that you can still get, because the rest of my cards are 3 custom caches and a City Prestige. And on Friday and Saturday nights, an Elite card. But I mean, and so I've got a wallet that over 50% of it you can't even get the cards anymore. And so I was making an argument in the video that if there's a good card, you might get it instead of putting it off, because you never know when it might go away and you might get to keep it. So Karen Jang Balan Jean, so I guess I'm just going to call him Karen. Karen says, is it too risky to convert my only Strata Premier to a custom cache and apply for another Strata? Is there a better way to take care of this? I only have 1 City card. Okay. If I had just a Strata Premier, it seems like and this is just my own observation, I could be wrong, but it seems to me like City is the easiest card that they're giving out, or American Airlines cards and the Elite card. I would change, if it's the only way I could get a custom cache, I would change to a custom cache. And then I would try to get the Elite, have it for a year, downgrade it to a Premier if I needed that instead, or whatever. Or get an American card, change it to an Elite, downgrade it to a Premier, whatever. Because the custom cache is gone. I mean, and it's awesome. So, yeah, I that's kind of how I look at it. All right, let me go back to some comments. While I'm doing that, let me see. We got 70. Wow, that's a good number. Maybe I should do Monday nights more often instead of doing Sundays all the time. This is pretty awesome. So we got 72 in here. Let's see how many hit the like button. We got 34 likes. Okay. So that's about half. About half of y'all hit the like button. The rest of you still got time. Please do so. All right. So going back to comments, A tier. That's what I love about this channel. There are a lot of really smart gaming people here. It's a great place to learn and share. Thank you, A tier. That's what I'm striving to be and be all about, is playing it on expert mode. I like to say honor mode, because I don't know if my son and son-in-laws and we like to play Baldur's Gate. If you haven't ever played it, it's a pretty awesome game on PS5. And honor mode is where you're playing at the hardest level, but if you die, your game's over. You got to start over. Even if you got 35 hours in that bad boy, it is the ultimate level. And y'all know I'm a gamer in all things. I mean, the credit card points and miles thing, I love that I get free trips, but the thing I love the most about it is I love the mental part of it. I love the game. It's not just about, well, your cents per point don't matter. They do, because cents per point is a metric of victory. I mean, it's how I know I'm winning. And so that, to me, above all else, is what points and miles are. And I think for a lot of people who are playing, like Gary, who was running $1 million or whatever through their cards, I mean, somebody like that, they can travel on their own if they want, right? Why are they doing credit card points and miles? Why are people who are fairly well off doing credit card points and miles? Because a lot of times people like that, they need something to occupy their mind, something to win, something to conquer, right? And that's, to me, ultimately what it is about everything. So thank you. I'm glad that's what I'm trying to communicate. That's what I'm all about. And you know what? The serendipity of it all is I get some awesome travel. Nona is really impressed when we're riding in the front. She loves, we're staying in a Ritz and a Waldorf coming up in the next few weeks. She's going to love those. That's a serendipity. But the greatest thing about it is what's going on in my mind, right? The excitement of it. It's fun. It is fun. So, Izzy says, I love my Biz Gold, my highest Amex earner. Yep, it's a great card. Dim says, on fire. Medic, you got RM's attention with them free night awards. Yes, you did, Yuri. I love those things. I'm even thinking about canceling some of my other cards and getting more Aspire cards. And I'm like, do I care about FHR as much as I do more free night certs? Because I love me some Hilton free night certs. I think they're the most awesome thing in the game. I mean, they're awesome. Coder, product change seems dead now from reports on Reddit. Really? All right. Yeah, that's kind of was afraid. That's what I've seen too. You're talking about on the custom cache. Stinky Monkey, keep it up, RM. And one day this chat will be littered with a bunch of animal usernames. You have paved the way, Stinky Monkey. You have paved the way. Yuri, I canceled multiple business golds, and I'm going to also cancel business platinum. Okay. Not working for you anymore. Damn. City Custom Cache product change is dead. Yep. Damn, I converted my CSP to custom cache, never got used. Yeah, I mean, the custom cache is just, I mean, you've heard the old, you don't know what you got till it's gone. What was that, a Bon Jovi song? Or I don't remember who sang it, but that shows you how old I am. But I mean, that's the thing about the custom cache. A lot of people I'm going to get it. You don't know what you got till it's gone. It's I have 3, so I'm satisfied, but wish I had 4. Wish I had 5. Chad Harmon, City AA cards are heavily pushed. Yeah, they're easier to get. They just are. Yuri, no more conversions to City Custom Cache, so I'm stuck with only 10. Oh, poor Yuri. Stuck with only 10. Yep. Brian Cosgrove, have AA Globe from Aviator Silver, double dipping benefits at $199. That is a smoking good deal. And you want to talk about the things you just kick yourself for. Nona had the silver. I tried to get them to waive the fee or to give us some kind of retention offer. They wouldn't do it. We canceled it like 6 months before the conversion. That was dumb of us. Should I product change 2-year-old AA executive to the elite? City Nights or 12X portal worth it? Just got built recently. I'm struggling myself because the elite's one of those cards that's just it doesn't really give me anything special, but I like it. I like it. So I'm debating, do we keep the premier or do we keep the elite? So I'm in the same boat as you, but I like the elite card. I think it's really underrated. Dem, do you look at overall return on spend, RM? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, I track everything I spend. So I know what I'm getting back, and it's a lot. I mean, it's at least double or triple every year what I'm getting back on everything. And that's not even counting points. So yeah, it's, I think I do. Username, custom cache conversions are gone. Yep, we've established that. Big Kev, as they say in The Wire, it's all in the game, yo. It's all in the game. That's true. Paul Davis, B of A custom cache reward card is still available. 6% cash back in top category for first year, then 5.25 for those with money at Merrill Edge. That's true. I mean, I haven't looked at that because I don't do cash back, but I think that's a solid card for people who've got some funds, for sure. Yuri, but those 10 custom caches are nothing compared to a single Sears card. Yeah, that's another one people should have got. I should have got that one. It's just it had Sears in the name, so it's like I have bad memories because one of the first jobs I ever had when Nona and I first got married, when I was going through college and all that, I worked at Sears in the tool department selling Craftsman toolboxes, and she worked in the paint department even when she was pregnant. So we have a lot of Sears memories. It was an okay job though. Coder, I wish I was bougie enough to enjoy free night certs. Yeah, they're nice. They're nice. Calderas, I'm not convinced they'll let us downgrade CSE to CSPs in year 2. Will they not? You would think that they would, but not Bon Jovi. Cinderella. There it is. Don't know what you got till it's gone. That's right. All right, let's go back and got a few more minutes, about 10 more minutes here. Let me go back to some of our other questions. So comments on airport lounge is really worth it again. So one Daddy-O, pretty cool name, says, great video, sir. The exact reality check I needed to step back and evaluate. At this point, we're only traveling 2 to 3 times a year, one domestic and maybe 2 times a year to Europe. Hopefully foreign travel will increase soon. Yeah. And that's what the video was about, is that sometimes people get all excited about the flash and all that. And that's one thing, we've talked about what my channel focuses on. And I don't have to, I don't feel as much, I guess, responsibility in that, because I know a lot of my watchers, although a lot of new people do watch. And like I said, I hope they want to grow and become more expert mode. But some YouTubers have lots and lots of newbies. And when I talk about Amex Platinum, I'm talking to people who can afford the $800, $900 a year. I am. When I'm talking to this, I because it's assumed that, we're talking to people who are gamers and who have the finances to do something like this as a mental exercise and enjoy it. Not people who are scratching out day by day. And I've been there. I'm not judging that. That was our life for years. But those people I wasn't playing the credit card game on expert mode when I was in my 20s. I was trying to feed my family and take care of Nona and the kids. And, I wasn't doing that. So that's the thing that's interesting about this comment to me is, I hope that it did cause people to step back and evaluate, because frankly, not everybody needs these cards. They don't. I didn't need them for a long time. I still don't need them. I want them and I can afford them. So that's a different thing. But sometimes just the flashy new thing just appeals to people, when if they really knew their finances and knew their travel and knew their schedule and all of that, it just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. So I appreciate one Daddy-O's comment there. All right, Mark Clark is here and says, good evening. Thanks for letting me be a part of this. I love the points and miles. Haven't met a program that I don't like. My highest joy is helping family and friends travel too. That is fun. I do have fun. Although I do have to grit my teeth and smile sometimes when my family uses their travel portals for their points. Yep. Chad, I think a lot of us in here are old Gen Xers. LOL. Yep. That's who we are. Family Travel John, I was thinking about downgrading the Elite to Premier when my annual fee comes up, but now that I've discovered City Nights shenanigans, I think I'll keep it. Yep. If you know, City Nights shenanigans are pretty good. They're pretty good. All right. Brian Cosgrove, AA executive. Nice. Credits weak. Hitting Platinum Pro without it. Feel like annual fee isn't worth it because Globe opens up AA hotels anyway. City Nights beats Built, and I don't have a thank you card yet. Yeah. I'm actually, and I know people will be shocked to hear this, but I'm actually evaluating whether I'm going to keep my AA executive card. I like the status earning on the Globe card better. It's just easier. And the only thing, because the credits are so bad on the exec card, they're bad. It's impossible unless you're staying in. And I do go to a lot of lounges with American. And if I do this, I will have to decrease how many lounges I go to with American. But because I will have some passes, and I can use the credit on the Amex Platinum and Business Platinum for their lounges. But yeah, it's a great card if you fly a lot on AA trying to get hit status. But if you're trying to just do a apples to apples comparison about value you're getting back on those credits, not good. It's just not good. Okay. Let me see. Got a few more comments here. Yuri, do you like the new Samsung card? How long do you think it will last? Remember Uber card? I think it'll last longer than that, because 1 in 4 smartphone users is a Samsung. Well, they use Android, so probably most of those are Samsung. So I think it'll last. If I were doing cash back and wanted to use that mobile wallet, I think it's a pretty good card. In fact, I think it's probably a very good card, but I'm not a cash back person. So I learned about it. It's interesting, but for a cash back person, I think it's not that bad if you use a Samsung phone, and that's the big key. Coder, in my opinion, as long as you can hit the minimum spend, you should be laddering the premium cards just for the subs, even if you only occasionally travel. It's free travel. That's a great point. Yeah. I mean, I guess if a person couldn't come up front with the, annual fee, then it might be a different conversation. But if somebody can budget to do that, yeah. I converted the executive to the Chase, the City Strata Elite. Good deal. All right. Next is YouTube experiment. Was only able to get one city colonoscopy cash, and that was a product change. Okay. Yeah. But one is better than none. Think about all the people who didn't get one. Mike Newland, RM, what's your oldest card in your line that you use almost every day? Prestige. I've had the Prestige since 2020, and I use it every day, every single day. Paul Davis, I'm at 424, but my wife added me a few of her cards as an authorized user. We'll have an issue with Chase looking to snag at the 100K on the Ink Unlimited card. Yeah, the ink cards, if you can still, you can't do the ink train like you used to, but if you still got some available, those are great. I've done two in the last year, the custom, the ink cash, and also the preferred, and got 100 on both of them. It's a great sign up bonus. Yeah, Yuri says 3%, no per transaction fees. Yep, especially if you use that mobile wallet. That's pretty good but there are better cards. Yep. Well, there's almost always a better card for somebody. All right, we got 3 minutes left in our typical time frame, so let me jump to another one. Okay, here we go. I was wrong about the Capital One Venture X. So this is on Capital One Venture X, and this is particularly me talking about that I'm really liking their offers, especially when they're giving me 1,000 points for $10 spent at Dollar General and stuff like that. JRO, the Capital One offers are very good, pretty good, though you really have to use Venture X when paying. There are any issues, you usually can call customer service to get the missing miles, but it's easier to track if the charges were made on your Venture X card. Venture X also has a benefit that Bilt does not, probably to keep people from gaming tax payments, and that you can earn points when paying for taxes. That's true. When I'm paying for my taxes, because I'm trying to figure, because I usually use this for sign-up bonuses, but I'm going to be gardening for a little while. So I'm trying to think what I want to do. I think I'm going to put those on my Atmos card just to get me to the status, because I think it'll bump me over the top. But he makes a good point that I didn't realize, is that those Capital One offers, according to this comment, are they track better with the Venture X, and that's what I use. So that's good. Yuri says all my 10 custom caches were conversions, never applied. Had a lot of useless city cards laying around, converted them all. That's a good strategy. Chad Harmon, hoping Chase improves the Apple card. Yeah, maybe they will with more competition. And Dim says you can pay property taxes with Bilt, but not the IRS. Absolutely true. Okay, let's try to get one more of these comments in. This is on the airport lounges again. And Direct 525 says it's laughable that Southwest is considering lounges. I fly and prefer Delta. Their lounges are always just a hop, skip, and a jump away from my gates. It is kind of funny that Southwest they don't have a first class, but they're going to have lounges. That's just odd to me. And I just haven't flown Southwest in like 10 years, so it does seem strange. But he makes the comment, I prefer Delta lounges. I prefer Delta lounges too, but just don't fly Delta enough to use them usually. Coder says, I've had no real tracking issues with Capital One offers. That's good to know. Using a Venture X. Mark Clark says, I agree with something I heard you say a few months ago about being willing to stockpile certain transferable points and miles. Any rule of thumb for when to cash in? I have Amex Schwab Platinum. No, I suppose if I hit a certain threshold, but I'm probably going to cash rather than cash in for me because I don't need the money for anything. I would probably just use my points for a less desirable redemption that's high cost. Like, for instance, I typically don't book business class flights that are 175,000 points, even though the cent per point's not too bad, but that's a lot of points. But if I just get so many, I probably will. So that's probably how I'll use them. Or I might even do what I never do is book hotels with them. You never can tell. Chad Harmon, I saw that email about Southwest lounges. Yeah. Yuri, I was a big fan of Southwest. Okay. You like them? Coder, I just need a lounge. Any lounge. No. Not the Maui, Hawaii lounge. Believe me, you don't need that one. Coder, in Love Field. Oh, yeah. Love Field needs something. I'd take anything besides Delta in Memphis, too. That would be nice. Dem, I usually hit speculative transfers instead of cashing in with partners I know I'll use. Yep, that's exactly what I do, Dem. Move a lot of them. Got a whole bunch of chase points now. I'm going to be looking for transfers. And then just got into hotel bookings recently, too. Yeah, because you got so many points, right? All right, well, guys, it's been an hour. I'm going to wrap it up there. Let me see, go back through, and I want to thank everybody who was supportive of the channel. Ebby gave 10 Rewards Master memberships. Thank you, Ebby. I appreciate it very much. Big Kurt gave $5 super chat. Thank you, Big Kurt. Appreciate it very much. And then the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mike Newland, gifted 20 Rewards Master memberships. Thank you, Mike. Always appreciate you so very, very much. Chad Harmon says, as a truck driver, Memphis is horrible, RM, LOL. Yeah, it's trying to get to the airport is horrible. It absolutely is. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Thank you all for being here today, even though it was a weird time. But we had great numbers. We got 86 people in here. That is awesome. Awesome. Thank you all very much. Appreciate you. And I will see you here next time.